So I was at work the other day, and I was wearing all black, which I thought was what I always wore, until I got lots of comments. Oh, you're wearing all black today? Ooh, oh, you look like a badass, stuff like that. And I was like, don't I didn't say this to them, but to myself. I was like, don't I always wear all black? And then I started to reflect a bit and realize, man, I haven't been wearing all black in like quite a while, and I haven't done anything with my hair, and I haven't been wearing makeup. I mean, most of the makeup thing is because I wear a mask, but my regular makeup style focuses on my eyes anyway, which obviously aren't covered by the mask. So that shouldn't have really changed that much. And I realized, man, I have changed. And I got really sad. And I first wondered, maybe I'm just not alternative anymore or whatever. And then I had a few days after that, I had my music on my phone on shuffle, and nothing was sounding right except for the goth rock bands. I didn't want to listen to anything else. I was just like, no, I'm not in the mood for this, whatever. But then the Merciful Nuns, Sex Gang Children, The Cure, that kind of thing, Sisters of Mercy, whatever, happened every time those popped up in my shuffle. I was like, yes, that's what I'm in the mood for. And I don't know, I just started really thinking about everything. Obviously, pretty recently my hair was half pink, and it was my natural tone. But the pink started really overwhelming me. It just seemed like there was too much going on. Normally, I like a lot of different stuff going on with my hair, but it just felt like more things to look at, more things to try to match, and it was stressful to me. So I wanted to cover up the pink, but because the pigment was very pigmented, we had to go pretty dark to cover it up. So we went with a demi, very dark neutral brown, and I had to touch it up recently, and it's interesting that something as simple as a change of hair color makes you really feel how you want to look. If you experiment with style and you try different things, and of course most of the things you try aren't going to be it because you're trying a bunch of stuff, but you try one of them and you're like, that feels like me. And when my hair I colored it dark, a lot of people at work, because not a lot of the stuff is open, my socialness is being at work right now. They're like, wow, the dark hair color really suits you. And then it started to fade, and I accidentally picked the wrong color. I accidentally picked one that was darker, because the little swatches on the box are liars, and it looked like the same dark brown I had, but it was almost black. But it ended up being something I like even better. So I went even darker, accidentally. And this sweet lady I work with, she's like, I complimented you when you did it dark, but I think the even darker compliments you even more. I feel like it brings out your eyes, and I can see your freckles nicer, and it made me feel really good. And then there was, I kind of told this out of order, when everybody was commenting on my clothes, that was the most recent thing that happened. But anyway, then that happened, and I was wearing dark clothes, and I got lots of compliments, and it's not because the color is amazing by itself, which it is. I think people were complimenting me because it seemed to fit. You compliment somebody on something they wear when it really suits them, not because that object or piece of clothing is particularly amazing in itself, which, I'm sure it is, but you compliment somebody because how they're presenting themselves really suits them and is striking and brings out different features and seems to amplify the positive traits that they already have. And so when I got lots of compliments over having darker hair, wearing dark clothes, and I felt like me, like it felt like I found a more integrity-focused way to express myself, if that makes sense. And yeah, I don't know. I like goth rock music, but I usually don't self-describe as goth just because people are anal and rude, and even though it's a music thing, and if you look at the goth rock bands, if you looked at how they dressed, you'd be like, that's not goth fashion, because it's about music. Now, because of the way the music sounds and feels, dark clothes complement that atmosphere, and so people tend to like to express themselves that way. It's more poetic or what have you. But it's not just fashion. Now, I think that fashion very much is a part of the goth subculture, but it doesn't have to be. And some people are like, oh, it's only the music, or some people are like, no, it's the way you look. I'm like, well, it's both, and it can be in any proportions that you see fit. I think if you appreciate the aesthetics in the music, even if you don't adopt it 24/7, sure, why not? Like, you do you. So, I don't know. I'm kind of connecting more into like post-punk, dark wave, goth rock, but not in like the amplified fashion version that the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, and today has. Just the simplicity and ease of feeling myself wearing simple, dark clothes, having dark hair, and leaving it at that. I like dressing up a lot, and when I dress up, I do it well, but I was doing it so much that I felt like unless I dressed up a lot, I wasn't like really a part of the subculture. I wasn't allowed to be a part of it, and that's dumb. So, I don't know, I just wanted to share that I felt like I wasn't goth anymore, and again, I don't really like call myself that, because there's so many ways to look at it, and each understanding of what goth is has its own consistent, like, points that they're making, and I get that. I'm not trying to tell anybody I'm goth, I'm not goth, whatever, but I like goth things, and when I partake in those goth things, I feel more true to who I am, and that's what I'm going to leave it as. But I just wanted to say that when you identify something with yourself, there's a way to do it in one that is in alignment with who you really are, and there's a way to do it where, because you think that something is in alignment, you focus on it too much to where it becomes not in your alignment. But if you get back into it with ease and not trying to focus on judging yourself or adhering to a concept of how it's supposed to be or an ideal or what it looks like or what it sounds like, if you just ease into, you know, this is what I like and it happens to be over here, then I think it's more authentic. So there you go. That's my word today.